Hi guys, welcome back. It's me, Bryce, and a lot of people have had questions because we're pretty obviously a pretty Jewy family. So today I'm going to talk about what are our traditions about.
My name is Bryce Gruber. I'm a New York City mom of 4 kids and 1 crazy husband.
And it seriously takes a village, and in my case, all of Midtown Manhattan to raise our kids.
It is insane, but it is my life, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
So the first tradition that I think we should talk about, because it makes a lot of sense for me right now, is baby naming. It is super, super important when you name a baby that you don't just give it a random name. Judaically, we usually pick names that are attributed either to family members that we respect, and then when a baby is born, we don't name it the minute it comes out. That's just against the rules. We have all these superstitions about how it's done. For a boy, he doesn't get a name until day 8 when he has his circumcision. And for a girl, it's in front of the Torah. Her father will usually his friends or family to the synagogue with him, and she could be just a few days old and he will stand there and say, "This is her name." Benjamin was named after my great-grandfather. From everything I understand, and I never met him, he was a really wonderful and righteous guy, and that meant a lot to me. The name Benjamin, or Binyamin, in Hebrew means the son of my right hand or the son of my strengths. And at that point, I was a single mother. I was like, wow, if there's one thing that I want this child to have or get from me, it's all my strength. For Rivka, there are a lot of definitions of the name Rivka, but, an unbreakable tie between people. And we really felt like she was an unbreakable tie between us. But also, biblically, Sarah in the Bible doesn't die until Rivka comes to the world. And my grandmother, whose Hebrew name was Sarah, was just on her way out of this life as Rivka was born. And we kind of felt that as really symbolic and beautiful that she would carry on this tradition. When it came to Avi, whose full name is Abraham, we liked the names Abraham and David, and I felt like Yosef didn't really get fully a choice in the names of the first 2 kids he was caring for. I said to him, Abraham or David, surprise me. I actually heard it at the same time as everyone else. I heard in the synagogue, Abraham ben Yosef, which means Abraham, son of Yosef, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then when David was born, he was named for my grandfather, who also was just passing and was very special to me and helped raise me and was really this wonderful guy. So this next tradition that we have in our family is held by a lot of families, but not every Jewish family. We do not cut our sons' hair, our boys, till they're around 3 years old. So for some communities, it's the day they turn 3, you cut their hair. We are from a Sephardic community. We do it on a very specific holiday that comes in the spring. We also believe that to some degree you're giving a child his spiritual strength by keeping him intact until he's old enough to in some ways make his own decisions. And this one is all day, every day, never taking a break from it. So we eat kosher, we live a kosher lifestyle. We can only eat certain animals. So unfortunately, pigs are off limits for me, shrimp is off limits for me, chicken is okay, beef is okay, and we're only allowed to have these animals if it's certified kosher, meaning that the animal was killed in a humane way. We're not allowed to engage in any hunting. We can't do it. If we hunt an animal, first of all, we're not allowed to do that, but second of all, we can't eat an animal that way. We also can't combine any meat with any dairy products. So you're never gonna see me, even with kosher beef, I will never put cheese on top of it. It'll never be cooked in butter. I'm never gonna have a spaghetti and meatballs dish with a little bit of Parmesan on top. Although I do see those recipes on Pinterest and they look so good. But the cornerstones of our diets, I think, are a ton of fruits, a ton of vegetables, a lot of rice. There's so much rice. And challah, which is our traditional braided bread, every Friday. So you've probably heard of something called Shabbat, Shabbos, call it the Sabbath, and almost every religion has a Sabbath. But for Jews, it's always from sundown on Friday night till a little after on sundown on Saturday night, We have 25 hours of every week where we disconnect from everything. We don't work. We really disengage from technology in general, and the goal is that we take this time away from the world to, number one, decompress, be introspective, and the kids love it also because when you can't work for over a full day, you have nothing but time and love and affection to give to these little humans who want nothing but time and love and affection. So there's also this common misconception that every single Jewish woman is wearing a wig. So let me just show you something. This is not a wig. This is a need for Botox, but it's not a wig, okay? This is my hair. Some women in some Jewish communities around the world do choose to wear wigs. So there is something that said that a woman, to be like modest, should cover her hair after she's married. Well, some people comply with every rule perfectly. Some people don't comply with every rule perfectly. Me. Oy vey, because everyone assumes that if you're Jewish and like somewhat observant that like you automatically speak Yiddish. You know, Judaism is a culture, it's an ethnicity, but it's also a religion, and that means it can be practiced in many pockets of the world. And when that happens, like the Jews of Europe, they mixed their language with the kind of native languages of Europe, like German and Polish and Russian, and they got to Yiddish. And my family came from different parts of the world also, more Middle East. So for us, we have other languages that are mixed with little bits of Arabic, that are mixed with Turkish, that are mixed very heavily with Spanish. Common language that we all have, that every Jew on this planet has, is Hebrew. Now, some of us speak it fluently, some of us speak it like a little bit, some of us just read it and write it because we went to regular public schools and just went to Hebrew school after school. The next tradition maybe is not in PG-13, but I'm gonna tell you because like you probably want to know. We do not have sex with our husbands while we have our periods, or for the few days after our periods either. We are able to have sex like 2 weeks out of each month. So after your period and after that few days of waiting time, you do this like ritual bath called a mikveh. Usually the mikveh is wherever you live. I can't speak for yours, but for mine really is in a spa. It's like a membership that's part of your synagogue. And you're supposed to come back from this like reinvigorated and energized. After that, you and your husband are back together. By the time you get to that 2 weeks, you're like really eager to be with each other. You enjoy each other. You're like not wasting time with television at 10 o'clock at night. It's actually scientifically proven that this is like the magic formula for fertility too. Men who like save up what they're working with have much stronger sperm. Women who are only having sex around the time they're ovulating, well, I mean, statistically, you're going in a good direction for making a baby. This is one of my favorite traditions, but we don't talk about it much because, you know, like your period is like a very personal topic and nobody is discussing this stuff. Thank you for tuning in to learn about my traditions, and I appreciate that you guys asked so many questions. If you have more questions, definitely like this video, comment below. I will answer just about anything. And I love opening the dialogue so it's respectful and kind, and I can learn about you and you can learn about me, and friendship is everything. Hope to see you guys soon.